Regardless of what type of custom decoration business you own and what decoration services you offer, it's a good idea to constantly innovating your decoration processes so that you're as efficient as possible. Again, we talked about how to set up your shop and how to really process the orders, but it really got to come down to knowing some basic tips and tricks on how to be as efficient as possible. Again, first, you have to have plenty of table space. There's no such thing as not enough tables. Second, it's a good idea to invest in wire racks that essentially can be adjusted and are on wheels so that they can be moved from room to room freely without any problems. Third, you want to invest in technology. Time is money. If you pay for quality software, it'll drastically cut down on a lot of your employee costs. And again, you much rather would spend money on software than it comes to labor, as it is much higher when it comes to the actual overall cost. When you're actually processing orders, realize that sometimes it makes a lot more sense to do them in batches than to do one order at a time. Depending on what type of decoration process you're doing, it will really dictate that, and so will what your customers' expectations as far as turnaround time. So for instance, let's say you're offering wide format printing. You're gonna offer many different types of media, such as canvas, posters, stickers, window clings. You're going to want to print all your canvas prints at once. Then you're going to want to print all your stickers, then all your posters. And you might wait 2 days. You might batch 2 days worth of orders so that you do them at those periods of time versus just keep on changing those rolls. Might not make a lot of sense. Same thing when it comes to direct-to-garment printing. It doesn't make a lot of sense to turn on the printer to print just 1 or 2 shirts. The printer will actually use a few dollars worth of ink just to get ready for actual printing. So whenever you're actually going to be doing a lot of digital printing, you want to make sure you have at least 15, 20 garments to actually print. Otherwise, you're going to lose money right off the bat. Again, you'll realize that time and experience will really help you grow your actual business and how to really be as efficient as possible. You just naturally, every day, you and your employees will get better at what you're actually doing. But one thing you should always do with your employees is cross-train them as much as possible. Teach them at every decoration process that you actually have in your shop. Regardless if they may or may not have to actually do it, just having them understand how it actually works will actually help them in whatever decoration process they're doing. So for instance, if you have a screen printing department, you have a digital printing department, they are very different printing processes, but it's a good idea to take people from each one and kind of introduce them, okay, here's how this decoration process works. This is why with screen printing, when a customer needs 50 shirts with 1 color, we use this process, but when they only need a handful with 10 colors, we use direct-to-garment printing. Again, the more knowledge they have how the processes works, and again, by overlapping their workload, you can also, if somebody calls in sick or so forth, they can easily be a substitute right there for you, and you're not worried about having to bring in a different employee to really satisfy the demand that the customers currently have. So again, you'll realize that your employees are really going to also dictate what you're capable of. Just because you're paying somebody to be there doesn't mean that they're reaching their full potential as far as what they can be getting done that day. You really need to monitor how your employees are actually going about their work. Again, when it comes to screen printing, does it make sense to clean 1 screen at a time, or does it make sense to clean 10 screens at a time? If you give your employees too much freedom, they may not be as efficient as possible, but if you micromanage them, you might actually upset them, and they then again will somewhat rebel and not be as efficient as possible. So you have to find that medium ground as far as management so that everybody's happy, everybody understands what their role is, and they buy in completely into your decoration business. If you have any questions on how to process orders as efficiently as possible, please do not hesitate contacting us. Thank you.